mathematicians, welcome to the part 2 video on Jordan canonical form. Okay, so first we briefly see what we have seen in the part 1 video in a minute. Then we continue the part 2 video. And in this second part, we going to prove the Jordan canonical form theorem. Okay, and using that theorem, we'll prove various Jordan canonical form related and diagonalizable matrices related problems asked in the CSIR exam and other exams also. Okay, so and there will be a third part video also. In that video, we will see the connections between minimal polynomial and the Jordan canonical form. Okay, okay, let's begin. So in the yesterday video, in the part one video, we understood about Jordan blocks and the Jordan matrices. Okay. So what is a Jordan block? Yesterday, what is a Jordan block? Like we just see it quickly. So it is a matrix and all its diagonal entries are same. Okay. And in the next diagonal, all the entries should be 1. Okay. And the remaining entries everywhere it is 0 and it is a upper triangular matrix. So such a matrix is called a Jordan block. Okay. It is said to be Jordan block corresponding to the diagonal value lambda, and this is a k by k matrix. So it is a Jordan block of the eigenvalue lambda and of size k. Okay. It is denoted by j lambda comma k. Now we proved certain results like for this matrix, since it is upper triangular matrix, its diagonal entries are the eigenvalues. Therefore the characteristic polynomial is x minus lambda whole power k. Okay, therefore the it has only one eigenvalue that is repeated k times. Okay, and therefore the algebraic multiplicity of that unique eigenvalue is k, because k is the power appearing here. We proved that what is geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue. We proved that geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue is 1. Then we define a Jordan matrix. Okay, what is a Jordan matrix? It is a matrix with diagonal blocks, and each block is a Jordan block. Okay, so everywhere else it is 0. Okay, now each Jordan matrix is corresponds to one eigenvalue. Okay, that is what we saw above, and we want to understand for each block we know the associated eigenvalues algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity we just saw. If it is a k by k block, then algebraic multiplicity is k and geometric multiplicity is always 1. Now we want to understand the algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity of this matrix. The result we have proved is, suppose J is a Jordan matrix. Therefore, it is a diagonal matrix. The diagonals are blocks. Okay. Each diagonal is a Jordan block. So, this Ji will be a Jordan block, corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I, and it is a size Ki matrix. Okay. Okay. So, given such a Jordan matrix, for example, we just saw that like so for example, J is this kind of matrix. So diagonals are Jordan blocks where each block is of this form. Okay. Now, given such a matrix, the result we are proving, we observed is, suppose lambda I is an eigenvalue of J, then the geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue lambda I is equal to number of Jordan blocks of J corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I, and arithmetic multiplicity of lambda I in the matrix J is equal to sum of the sizes of the blocks corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda I. Okay, now like so we'll come to this Jordan matrix. So Jordan matrix is usually like looks like this. Okay, now like there are now here we have R diagonal blocks. So like here if you fix a eigenvalue lambda, then here we like more than one blocks can be corresponds to this eigenvalue lambda. Okay, it is not that each block is corresponds to distinct eigenvalues. No, that is not true. So this is one matrix. Consider it as a single matrix. It will have so uh, look at let's take it its eigenvalues like this or its characteristic polynomial like this: x minus lambda 1 power m1, x minus lambda 2 power m2, etc etc, x minus lambda k uh, power mk. Okay, so what we are noticing is each eigenvalue lambda occurs m1 time mi times. Okay, therefore, this lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda k are distinct eigenvalues of this matrix, and so each block is corresponds to one of these eigenvalue lambda 1 or lambda 2 or lambda k, and for one eigenvalue, like for example, there can be four blocks. We don't know. Okay, so for each eigenvalue, it can have more than one blocks. That is the main important thing. Now, so when you have a Jordan matrix. Okay, now you want to understand the algebraic multiplicity and the geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue lambda 1 particularly. Okay, now you assume this: for each of the eigenvalues you have one say some one glass, like one cooling glass you wear in your eyes, right? So when you look, so for each eigenvalue you have one such glass. So if you are talking about the eigenvalue lambda I, you want to know what is the geometric multiplicity and algebraic multiplicity of the eigenvalue lambda I, then you wear the glass corresponds to that eigenvalue. Okay. Now what happens is that glass will show you only the blocks corresponds to that eigenvalue. So remember, blocks you cannot see through that glass. Okay. So now you can see only the blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I, then the number of blocks you can see through the ith glass is the geometric multiplicity of that particular eigenvalue lambda I, and the algebraic multiplicity of that eigenvalue is like whatever blocks you can see with this glass. Look at the sum of the blocks. Okay, that will be the algebraic multiplicity. Okay, so that is the main result we actually we proved in the first lecture. So just remember it: geometric multiplicity is number of Jordan blocks, arithmetic algebraic multiplicity is sum of the sizes of the blocks. Both are corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda you have to consider. Okay, okay, so far what we did is we have understand the Jordan matrices. Okay, we know Jordan matrices. We know what are its eigenvalues. Jordan matrices are upper triangular matrices. Okay, therefore by its diagonal entries are the eigenvalues, and for each eigenvalue we know how to calculate its algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity. Okay, so you have to choose the suitable glass. If it is ith eigenvalue, you take the uh, glass corresponds to the ith eigenvalue, you wear it in your eyes, then you can see only the blocks corresponds to this eigenvalue, and you know what to do further. Okay, now next what we're going to do is, suppose a matrix A is similar to a Jordan block. Okay, now what can you say about A? Okay, so we're going to prove that whatever the result we proved for a Jordan matrix, all those property are going to true for the matrix similar to the Jordan matrix also. Now this is our first result for the day. So suppose A is a block matrix, only diagonal blocks are B and C, and this is a zero block. Okay, then the characteristic polynomial of this matrix is equal to product of characteristic polynomial of this matrix and this matrix. This we saw yesterday also. Now what we are saying is, uh, we can compare the eigenspaces also. Okay, so the eigenvalues of this matrix is eigenvalues of this matrix union eigenvalues of this matrix. Okay, so now you take eigenvalue of this matrix. Okay, the eigenvalue might be occurring here or occurring here, or might appear in both the things also. Okay, and in that case, eigenspace corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda is equal to eigenspace here direct sum eigenspace here. Okay, so for example, yesterday we saw this very nice example. So look at this matrix. So this is our matrix M. Okay, A, yeah. So this is my matrix A, this is my matrix B, this is my matrix C. Okay, then the eigenvalues of this matrices are these. So these six numbers are eigenvalues of this matrix M. These first two are eigenvalues of this matrix. This second two is eigenvalue of this matrix. This last two is eigenvalues of this matrix. Further, we calculate the eigenvectors also. Okay, for these two, for this matrix, these vectors, see, this is a 2 by 2 matrix, so its eigenvectors are vectors in R2. Okay, so its eigenvectors are 1 1 and 1 minus 1. These are the eigenvectors. But once you put it in a 6 by 6 blocked matrix, so this eigenvectors of this matrix can be made into eigenvector of this matrix by attaching the remaining places 0. Okay, for example, for this identity matrix, the eigenvectors are 1 0 and 0 1. Since it is in the second block, we are putting the first block position 0, third block position 0, only position corresponds to second block, we are putting the eigenvectors. Similarly, we are doing for the third also. Okay, therefore if you have a block matrix, its eigenspaces nothing but direct sum of eigenspaces corresponds to the diagonal blocks. Okay, here direct sum means that you have to put the necessary zeros like this, and then you have to sum it. Okay, so that is the idea. I hope you understand. Okay, so now we know the relation between eigenvalues of the diagonal blocks and the eigenvalues of the full matrix, and eigenspaces of the diagonal blocks and the eigenspace of full matrix. Next, we prove very important result. It is called invariance property. So suppose B, the matrix B is similar to a matrix A. Okay, so there is a typo, sorry. So this is P. Okay, then what can you say about the eigenvalues and eigen spaces of A and B? Okay, so if two matrices are similar, then they have the same characteristic polynomial. If two matrices are similar means like these two matrices are similar because they are conjugate. Like there is an invertible matrix such that B equal to P inverse AB, AP. Okay, so then also we have one more. The eigenspace of A is equal to eigenspace of B. On that space you have to act P. Okay, so note that P is an invertible linear transformation. So this is a subspace. So P will act. You can calculate the image of this subspace under the matrix P. Okay, so since P is an invertible matrix, so suppose this space has a dimension K, its image will also dimension K. Okay, so if two matrices are similar, they have the same characteristic polynomial. There is a relation between their eigenspaces also. The eigenspace of this matrix is obtained uh, uh, by taking the image of eigenspace of this matrix under the matrix P. Okay, so P times V lambda of B means that set of all BV PV such that V belongs to V lambda of B. Okay, this is the result. So in particular, algebraic multiplicity matches and geometric multiplicity matches. Okay, so why we are doing this result? Because we want to understand, suppose a matrix is similar to a Jordan matrix, then we want to understand the relation between the matrix and the Jordan matrix. Okay, that is why, like, you can just pause the video here and you can see the proof. It is very simple, just a step by step calculation which shows that characteristic polynomial of P inverse AP is equal to characteristic polynomial of A. Okay, it is a very important calculation, like many times we need it in solving other problems also. So pause the video and check each step. Similarly, we prove that A lambda A equal to P of P lambda of B. So that equality is what we have proved here. Again, you can pause it and please check the step by step calculation. It is just straightforward. Okay. Okay. So what is the corollary? Suppose a matrix is similar to a Jordan form. Okay. Jordan form means Jordan matrix. Then whatever property we proved for Jordan matrix, that is hold for A also. The geometric multiplicity of this eigenvalue lambda in this matrix A is equal to number of Jordan blocks uh, of the eigenvalue lambda in the Jordan matrix J. In other words, like now you have where the glass corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda. Now you can see only the blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda in the Jordan matrix. Now how many blocks you are seeing through this glass? The number of blocks is the geometric multiplicity. Similarly, algebraic multiplicity is the you look at through this glass how many you can see few blocks. Some look at the sum of those blocks. All those blocks are corresponds to this eigenvalue lambda. Sum of the sizes of the blocks you are seeing through this glass is the algebraic multiplicity of this eigenvalue. Okay. Okay, so now we know many things. It is very useful. When we solve the problems, you will understand how much this result is useful. Like suppose you have a matrix A and you know its algebraic and geometric multiplicity. From that, you cannot guess the Jordan canonical form. Okay, if it is a 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 matrix, then you can guess the Jordan mechanical form by knowing only algebraic and geometric multiplicity. If it is a 4 by 4 matrix, then you cannot. Okay, you take any previous CSR gate in which many problems related to Jordan canonical form, the matrix will be most of the time at least 4 by 4. Most of the time it is 4 by 4 because you need more information than algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity. Okay, so we're going to see why in case of 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 matrix, why algebraic geometric multiplicity alone enough, and we're going to give an example of two 4 by 4 matrices, two 4 by 4 Jordan blocks. They have the same algebraic and geometric multiplicity, but they are different Jordan matrices. Therefore, algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity is not sufficient to guess what is the uh, Jordan canonical form. Okay, so this is very important example. So we are looking at all possible 3 by 3 Jordan matrices for which all the eigenvalues are equal. Okay, so now if you look at this Jordan matrix, it has 3 blocks. Okay, each of them is a 1 block. Why it is a 1 block? Because the number of ones occurring above the main diagonal is 0. Okay, so the only eigenvalue is lambda. And what is the geometric multiplicity of lambda? So geometric multiplicity of lambda is number of blocks. So number of block is 3. And what is the algebraic multiplicity? Algebraic multiplicity is also 3. Okay. Okay. So for example, algebraic multiplicity is like sum of the sizes of the blocks. So this is 1 plus 1 plus 1. You will get a 3. Okay. Now this is another Jordan matrix of size 3 by 3 whose all the eigenvalues are equal. Now you see this is a 2 block, this is a 1 block. Why this is a 2 block? Because there is only one 1. Okay, and so the number of block is 2. Therefore, the geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue lambda in this matrix is 2. And algebraic multiplicity is the sum of the sizes of the blocks, that is 2 plus 1 always 3. Okay, now we look at this 3 by 3 Jordan matrix, but this itself is a Jordan block. So there is only one block. Therefore, if there is only one block, then the geometric multiplicity is 1 and algebraic multiplicity is always this is size of the block is 3. Okay, well, these are the only possible 3 by 3 Jordan matrices. Okay, maybe like there is one more Jordan 3 by 3 Jordan matrix is there. So that is given by like lambda 0 0 0 lambda 1 0 lambda, sorry, 0 0 lambda. This is this 3 by 3 uh, Jordan matrix whose all the eigenvalues are equal is not listed here, if you noticed. Okay, but this matrix is obtained from this matrix by permuting the block. This block comes here, this block goes here. Basically, you will get this, right? So if a Jordan matrix is obtained from another Jordan matrix by permuting the blocks, then they are similar. Okay, that we will prove in the next step. Therefore, we are going to regard them as a same. Okay. So usually we assume that the blocks are sizes are decreasing. Okay. 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 Now, so if these are the only three. and like all these three matrices are uh, determined by the algebraic multiplicity and the geometric multiplicity. Let's see why. Suppose I am telling you that there is a 3 by 3 matrix whose algebraic multiplicity is 3 and geometric multiplicity is 2. Okay, then that matrix has to be this matrix. Okay, because like I am saying it is a 3 by 3 matrix, that information I have given you, and I am saying that algebraic multiplicity is 3, so it can be all the three matrices have algebraic multiplicity is 3. Now I am saying geometric multiplicity is 2. Okay, then definitely this is not possible, this is not possible, this is the only possibility. Similarly, if I say algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity both are equal to 3, then this has to be the case. Similarly, if I say algebraic multiplicity is 1, algebraic multiplicity is 3, geometric multiplicity is 1, this has to be the matrix. And there is, you try to write all possible 3 by 3 Jordan matrices whose all the eigenvalues are equal. You will see that these are the only three. There is not anything, there isn't anything else. And these three matrices are determined by their algebraic and geometric multiplicities. In other words, these things are determined by their number of blocks and sum of the sizes of the blocks. Okay. Now we go to the 4 by case. So you look at these two matrices. Okay, again all the eigenvalues are equal to 2 only. Now the geometric multiplicity of 2 in this matrix is 2 because there are two blocks. Again here also the geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue is 2 because there are two blocks. Okay, now anyway algebraic multiplicity is of 2 in this matrix also 4, in this matrix also 4. And if you notice that by permuting the blocks you cannot get this block. Okay, therefore these two are distinct Jordan matrices. Okay, so they are not similar, but they are not similar. And in both the cases the eigenvalue 2 has same algebraic multiplicity 4, same geometric multiplicity 2, but the blocks are distinct. Okay, here by knowing the geometric multiplicity and algebraic multiplicity you can uniquely say what is the matrix clearly, but in case of 4 by 4 you cannot say which is the exactly correct block. Okay, so why it is happening is, in case of 3 there is only one partition with the two parts, that is 2 plus 1. Okay, so you see corresponds to the so how many partitions of 3 are there? 3, 2 plus 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, so if it is a 3 by 3 matrix you are splitting it into block matrix. So when you sum the block, when you look at the sum of the, when you look at the block sizes, it will give you a partition of 3. Okay, for example this is corresponds to 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, this is corresponds to 2 plus 1, this corresponds to 3. Okay, now for 3 there is only one partition with the two parts. This is two parts means this is a partition with only one part, this is a partition with three parts, 1 1 1. So each number is called as a part. Okay, so there is only one partition with the two parts. For 4 there are two partitions with the two parts, for example 3 plus 1 and 2 plus 2. Note that if a Jordan matrix has its block partition given by any of this partition, then the number of parts is equal to the number of blocks. Okay, for example if it is 2 plus 2 then there is a block of size 2, there is a block of size 2. Similarly if it is a 3 plus 1 partition then there is a block of size 3, there is a block of size 1. Okay, so naturally to a Jordan matrix you can naturally associate a partition. Okay, so in that partition the number of parts, for example like here this is number of parts is 4, that number of parts is the geometric multiplicity. Okay, so if since this number 4 has two partitions with two parts, so this matrix also has geometric multiplicity 2 for the eigenvalue 2. This matrix also has geometric multiplicity 2 for the eigenvalue 2. And anyway algebraic multiplicity will be same, geometric multiplicity also equal. This is 2, this is 2, but we are getting two different blocks. These two matrices are not similar to each other, these two are different Jordan matrices. Therefore, like so suppose I am telling you it is a 4 by 4 matrix, and all the eigenvalues are equal, and the eigenvalues is algebraic multiplicity is 2, geometric multiplicity, sorry, algebraic multiplicity is 4, geometric multiplicity is 2. Then you don't know whether the Jordan form is this one or this one. Therefore, Jordan algebraic and Jordan algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity is not enough to define the Jordan form uniquely. That is our conclusion. That is why this matrix is important. This partition thing also important. So if you don't understand the partition thing, you try to rewind 5 minutes and you try to see it again. Okay. See an important point. So important point I just told you, like uh, so this is a block matrix. If you permute the block, like you change this block to here, this blocks to here. In general, like if it is a 3 by 3, it is a 3. There are 3 blocks. You can permute anyway. You send this to here, then you send this to here. You can put the block, rearrange the blocks anyway. Doesn't matter. The resulting matrix will be always similar to the original matrix. Okay, so that is a very important thing. Basically, in the Jordan block, you rearrange the blocks in any way. You put the first blocks in the 7th position, 10th block in the 2nd position, then 3rd block into the 9th position, any way you want. Okay, the resulting matrix will be similar to the original matrix. That is what this statement is saying. Let's see. Or we'll do for 2 blocks, then we'll see for n blocks. Okay, so I want to prove that these two matrices are like this matrix and this matrix is similar. So I will construct a matrix explicitly P such that P inverse AP is the new matrix A prime. Okay. So now you see this B is a M by M matrix, C is the N by N matrix, right? So this first column, so this matrix is a M by M matrix. So this here you will have M columns. Then from M plus 1 column, M plus 1 to M plus N columns you will have here, right? Now what do you want? You want this first M columns to go here, but again these entries also should go below, and this m plus 1 to m plus n, this n columns you want it to go here, but again this C matrix should go also go below. Like we can see how the entries should be permuted. So basically this m goes to this n, and this n kind of goes to m. Like these are all, this is not, I'm not saying rigorously, but just to get some picture. So with that idea we can guess what is the matrix P. Okay, so you see that from this standard basis vector, this is like from m plus 1 to m plus n, you the columns you want it to the come front. So we put this em plus 1, em plus 2, etc, em plus n. So if you look at the identity matrix, this m plus n cross m plus n identity matrix, these vectors em plus 1, em plus n, these are all the columns that will come here. Okay, so that column I am putting it as a first n columns. Okay, okay, and then first m columns of the identity matrix I am putting it at the places, at the last places, followed by these vectors. So then again this is a permutation matrix, because we have put we have just rearranged the columns of identity matrix. So one can, so these matrices are invertible, permutation matrices are invertible. So you understand what columns goes to what place, then accordingly you choose the matrix P also, then you will get P inverse AP equal to A prime. That is the idea. I will show with an example. You see this is the matrix. Suppose I want to shift this block to this block. Okay, so basically what I want, first column I want to go to the third column, second column I want to go to the fourth column. Okay, so you see first column, in place of first column I put E3. Okay, because I want first column to go to the third column. Similarly this second column I want to go to fourth column, so I put E4 here. Now the third column I want to come to the first column, so I put E1 here, and the fourth column I want to come to the second place, so I put E2 here. The remaining, this last two columns I don't want to disturb, so I just put the fifth and sixth column as it is. Okay, So this way you see that if you, this is my matrix P, if you calculate P inverse AP, then so this is my P, this is my A. If you calculate P inverse AP in the resulting matrix, these two blocks will get interchanged. Okay. Now similarly, using this matrix, you can interchange these two blocks. Okay. So note that this is the right matrix. Okay, now I know how to interchange the consecutive blocks. Okay, so these two blocks I can interchange using this matrix. These two blocks I can interchange using this matrix. Now, if I want to interchange these two blocks, first and three, what will I do? So, like if I to interchange 1 and 3, first I will interchange 1 and 2. Then first will come here, 2 will go there. Then again I can interchange 2 and 3. Okay. So basically, you take a very large block matrix. Suppose there are 100 diagonal blocks. Okay. And you want to interchange 25 and 75. 25th block place, you want the 75th block. In the 75th block, you want the 25th block. You don't need, you can, what you can do is you can just flipping continuously by just flipping the adjacent matrices. What you can do, you can actually replace the 75 and the 25th block. Okay, just to think why is it so, like what you can do, first you change 25 to 26, 26 to 27, like you can go till 74. Okay, now in the 74th place 25th block will come. In the 75th block, 75th block is there. So now you interchange 74 and 75. Okay, now in the 75th block place we got the 25th block, 74th place you got the 75th block. So now you come back 74 to 73, 73 to 72, then you can come to 25. Okay, so any arbitrary block interchange can be done by consecutive block interchanges. This is true because the symmetric group on n symbols is generated by just transpositions. Okay, transpositions are two cycles, right? Even two consecutive transposition like m comma m plus 1, they alone generate the symmetric group. Anyway, if you know about symmetric group and the transposition, you can visualize why it is true. Okay, so we know algebraic and geometric multiplicity about the Jordan matrices, and if a matrix is also conjugate to similar to Jordan matrix, then that matrix also has the same property. Now we know that if you permute the blocks in the Jordan matrices, the resulting matrix also similar to the original matrix. So with this information, like we can state the Jordan canonical form theorem. Okay. Okay. So now we have understood that in any way, like once you have a Jordan matrix, you can shuffle the blocks in any way you want. Okay. All those matrices are similar. Okay. So now all these matrices are similar, but some way I want to define the Jordan canonical form uniquely. Okay. So how I'm going to do it? So first you define a order in the eigenvalues. Okay, if you have a Jordan matrix, suppose lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda s are the eigenvalues. So you assume that this is the first eigenvalue, this is the second eigenvalue, this is the nth eigenvalue. Okay, so these are all distinct eigenvalues. So now for this eigenvalue, you will have some number of blocks in the Jordan matrix J. For this eigenvalue, you have some number of blocks. For this eigenvalue, you will have some number of blocks. Okay. So how many blocks you will have corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda 1? The number of blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue is equal to the geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue lambda 1. Therefore, I take j1 comma 1, j1 comma 2, etc. j1 comma g geometric multiplicity of lambda 1. So this many blocks will be there in the Jordan matrix J. Okay, we don't know where these blocks are present because we don't need to know where they are present also. Like wherever it is there, we don't care because the position doesn't matter because they are going to be similar matrices. So again, for lambda 2, we have J2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma geometric multiplicity of lambda 2. These many blocks will be there in the matrix J. Similarly for the S eigenvalue. Now this first entry, first index says that this block is corresponds to that eigenvalue, and the second index just saying that this is the first block or second block corresponds to this eigenvalue. So we assume that, so now these all these blocks are corresponds to this eigenvalue, first eigenvalue. Now we assume that the sizes of the blocks are decreasing. Okay, so by assume that the sizes of the blocks are decreasing, we can uniquely say the Jordan matrix. Okay, see, already we put a order in the eigenvalue, therefore in the Jordan matrix first few blocks are corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda 1. After that blocks corresponds to lambda 2. Finally blocks corresponds to lambda s going to come. Okay, now you look at the blocks corresponds to lambda 2, lambda 1. There also the blocks sizes are going to decreasing. For example, you see, it will be like this. So I assume this Jordan matrix has only two eigenvalues. One is a eigenvalue, two is a eigenvalue. So two distinct eigenvalues. I assume that first I set one is my first eigenvalue, two is my second eigenvalue. Therefore in the Jordan form, first the form blocks corresponds to 1 will appear, followed by that blocks corresponds to 2 will appear. Also in the block, if you look at the blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue 1, the size will decrease. Again the blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue 2, the size is decrease. So by putting this extra condition, put the order on the eigenvalue first, this is my first eigenvalue, this is my second value, you choose it your own way. Then put the eigenvalue Jordan block corresponds to the first eigenvalue in the decreasing order of the size. Okay, so that way you can uniquely define the Jordan matrix. Okay, okay, I hope you understand this what is going on. Okay, so this is the Jordan canonical form theorem, very important theorem. We, to prove this theorem only, we were part 1 and part 2 video we have done it to prove this theorem only. Here there is a part 3 video also where we prove the connection between minimal polynomials, generalized eigenvectors and Jordan canonical form. With that we have covered Jordan canonical form completely. Okay, so let's see what is the statement of Jordan canonical form theorem. So every complex n by n matrix is similar to a Jordan matrix. Okay, that is a result. You take any matrix, not necessarily diagonalized matrix, nothing. You take any matrix, it is similar to a Jordan matrix. Therefore every matrix can be bring into a Jordan canonical form. That is, there exists an invertible matrix P such that P inverse AP equal to J. J is a Jordan matrix. Also this J satisfies some properties. So this J is a diagonal matrix with the diagonals are blocks. Okay, and first, so now A is some matrix, you fix some order in the eigenvalues. Okay, so for example the eigenvalues of A can be, say, I, some 1 plus root 2 I, 1 minus root 2 I. These three numbers are the eigenvalues. Suppose I, 1 plus root 2 I, 1 minus root 2 I. Suppose these are all the eigenvalues. Okay, these are the distinct eigenvalues. So each eigenvalue can appear as many times. Okay, that we don't know. But so you assume that this is my first eigenvalue, this is my second eigenvalue, this is my third eigenvalue. You can take this order anyway. Like for you can take this is my first eigenvalue, this is my second eigenvalue, this is third eigenvalue. Like in the distinct eigenvalue, so you put some order. After that, so since if so for example I call this is my lambda 1, this is my lambda 2, this is my lambda 3. Okay, then this first few blocks are corresponds to the first eigenvalue, then the second next blocks followed by are corresponds to the second eigenvalue. Finally set of blocks are corresponds to the third eigenvalue, and the size of the blocks are decreasing. Okay, that is what very important. Okay, now lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda s, these eigenvalues are the distinct eigenvalues of A, and the number of Jordan blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I is equal to geometric multiplicity of lambda I. Okay, this result we already saw. And algebraic multiplicity of lambda I, this equality is very important. Let's try to understand very clearly what is the algebraic multiplicity of the eigenvalue lambda I. So suppose like let's put it here. So the here there will be some blocks between this gap. Okay, so here you have some blocks, here you have some blocks, like here also you will have some blocks. Let's assume that the blocks here are corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I. Okay, so we know some blocks are corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I, and how many blocks are there corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I? The geometric multiplicity of lambda I, that many blocks are there, Jordan blocks are there for the eigenvalue lambda I. Okay, so now there are this many blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I. So for each of these blocks I take its sizes to be uh, k 1 I, k 2 I, etc., etc., k geometric multiplicity of lambda I times I. Okay, so corresponds to lambda I, you will have some blocks here. So the sizes of the blocks I am denoting it here. So this I says that these blocks, these are all sizes of the blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue lambda I, and we assumed that sizes of the blocks are decreasing. Okay, therefore these numbers are decreasing, means not increasing, so it can be equal or decrease. Okay, so these are all the block sizes. Okay, what is the algebraic multiplicity of an eigenvalue? Sum of the sizes of the blocks. Therefore if you sum all this number, you will get the uh, algebraic multiplicity of lambda I. And finally the blocks ja are uniquely determined by E. Okay, if you define the Jordan form like this, it is uniquely defined. So this up to order means that we want to keep remember that you are allowed to permute the blocks also. That is not going to change anything. The resulting block matrix will be similar. Okay, so Jordan form is unique up to ordering the diagonal blocks. Okay, so these important corollaries are what important. So when I made 3 videos on diagonalizable matrices, there I didn't prove any results regarding matrix diagonalization. For example, like distinct eigenvalues have, if a matrix has distinct eigenvalues over R, it is diagonalizable over R. Like diagonalizable if and only if distinct eigenvalues are diagonalizable if and only if algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity. None of this is proved. So yesterday we proved that if a matrix has algebraic multiplicity equal to if a matrix has distinct eigenvalues, then it is diagonalizable. That result we proved in the first part of Jordan canonical form. So all this diagonalizable result can be proved very easily using Jordan canonical forms. All the problems related to diagonalizable matrices can be very easily solved using Jordan canonical forms. Okay, so that one you can see that there may not be many problems related to Jordan canonical form, but that is not the point. But there are many problems related to diagonalizable matrices. All those problems can be solved used our knowledge of Jordan canonical forms. Okay, so let's continue. The corollary is what very important. Okay, so we just saw that this algebraic multiplicity of the eigenvalue lambda I is a sum of these numbers, right? Summation j equal to 1 to geometric multiplicity of lambda I kji, right? Now, so you note that these numbers are size of the blocks. Okay, therefore each number is at least 1. Okay, so you are summing you are summing gm of lambda I many positive integers to get algebraic multiplicity of lambda I. That means that this number is greater than or equal to this number. Okay, so we get algebraic multiplicity of lambda I is greater than or equal to geometric multiplicity always. So am greater than or equal to gm we used in the problems, but we didn't prove. But from this equality it follows. Okay, next corollary. A is diagonalizable if only if algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity for all its eigenvalues. Okay, so let's see why it is true. So we assume that lambda 1 etc lambda s is the distinct eigenvalues of A. Then A is diagonalizable. If A is diagonalizable means all the Jordan blocks are should be of size 1. Okay, otherwise if there is a block of size 2, then you will have a 1 in the diagonal next to the main diagonal. Okay, But if it is a diagonalizable matrix, it should similar to a diagonal matrix. Only in the diagonal should be entries present. Okay. Therefore, all the Jordan blocks should be of size 1. So all the Jordan blocks are size 1 mean that this Kij appearing here, they are all equal to 1. Okay. So if this, so all these things are 1, it means that this equality implies that algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity. Okay. Okay, therefore, this size of the blocks, all the blocks are equal to 1. But from the equation 3, we have this. So if you substitute 1 here, you will see that this many times you are summing 1 will give you this mean number, means that algebraic multiplicity of lambda equal to geometric multiplicity of lambda I. Okay, so let's define an important notion. An eigenvalue lambda of A is said to be regular if algebraic multiplicity is equal to geometric multiplicity. So therefore, A is a diagonalizable matrix if only if all its eigenvalues are regular. So in the next video, this regular eigenvalues are going to play an important role. So an eigenvalue lambda of A is regular. If it is a regular, means its algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity. Okay. If algebraic multiplicity is equal to geometric multiplicity, then all the Jordan blocks corresponds to the eigenvalue has to be 1 by 1 blocks. Okay. Why? Because so again this equation 3 is very important. So algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity. Equation 3 implies that if algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity, then all these sizes of the blocks has to be 1. Okay. So we get this corollary 3. Under a corollary 4, if A and B are similar matrices, then they have the same Jordan canonical form. Okay. So to prove two matrices are similar, you can just check whether they have the same Jordan canonical form. Again, same Jordan canonical form means that up to ordering the diagonal blocks. Okay, because we saw that if you reorder the blocks, still the Jordan matrices they are similar. Let's see why it is true. The proof is simple. Then we saw some problems. So since A and B are similar, there is an invertible matrix M such that M inverse AM equal to B. Now suppose J1 is the Jordan canonical form of the matrix A, then P inverse AP equal to J1. Since Jordan canonical form of B is J2, there is an invertible matrix Q such that Q inverse BQ equal to J2. Now we want J1. So J1 is P inverse AP. Now for A, we substitute the value of A from here. From here, A equal to MB M inverse. So we substitute here, then this P here. Instead of P inverse P, I have written P inverse. So that is a mistake, but it is fine. That is not going to make a big difference. So now for B, we substitute the value from here. So B equal to Q J to Q inverse. Okay. So from this equality, we get PMQ times J2 times PMQ inverse equal to J1. Note that this PMQ, all these matrices are invertible, and PMQ whole inverse equal to P inverse M, Q inverse M inverse P inverse. Okay. Therefore, we got this result. Now let's solve some problems. Okay, asked in the CSIR exam. Which of the following matrices have Jordan canonical form equal to this matrix? Okay, so use that. Note that this is a Jordan matrix and it has two Jordan blocks. Okay, why this is a two block? There is one, and this is a one block because there is no ones. Now, so it is a 3 by 3 matrix. We saw that in case of 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 matrices, geometric multiplicity and algebraic multiplicity determines the Jordan canonical form. Therefore, we just need to see here in whichever matrices have, anyway, all these matrices have algebraic multiplicity for the eigenvalue 0 equal to 3. Therefore, we just need to calculate the geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue 0 in each of these cases. If whichever matrix has geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue 0 equal to 2, then all those matrices are have this matrix as Jordan canonical form. Okay, so let's see. So for the first matrix, we calculate the geometric multiplicity. Note that geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue 0 is equal to nullity of the matrix. Okay, why? Like if you look at the eigenspace corresponds to eigenvalue lambda, this is set of all x belongs to Rn such that Rn are C power n such that Ax equal to 0. Ax equal to 0 times x, that is basically 0. So this is nothing but kernel, right? So this is nothing but kernel. So dimension, so kernel or null space, both are same. Therefore, the geometric multiplicity of 0 is nothing but nullity of this matrix. So, nullity is the dimension of the kernel. So, nullity is equal to, for a 3 by 3 matrix, it is 3 minus rank of that matrix. Okay. So, rank of this matrix is 1. Therefore, we get 3 minus 1, 2. Therefore, this matrix has geometric multiplicity 2 for the eigenvalue 0. Therefore, this matrix will have Jordan canonical form, this matrix. Similarly, you can see that option 2 and 3 also will have multiplicity equal to 2. Okay. Therefore, option 1, 2 and 3 will be true. If you calculate the geometric multiplicity of 0 for the for the matrix 4, you will see that geometric multiplicity will be 1. Okay, so if it is 1, then its Jordan form will have only one block. But here this has two blocks. Therefore, the answer is false. Okay. Okay, so this option is false. All these options are true. Okay, so let's do a few more problems. So which of the following matrices is not diagonalizable over R? So it is a part B problem. So very much you have to answer instantly. Like you cannot spend more time. But if you look at this matrix, it is clearly is in the Jordan canonical form. There is a 2 block and 1 block. So if you look at the eigenvalue 1, its algebraic multiplicity is 2. But there is only one block corresponds to the eigenvalue 1. Therefore, its geometric multiplicity is 1. Algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity, they are not matching. Therefore, this matrix is not diagonalizable. So, by looking at the matrix, you know which matrix are diagonalizable if you know little bit about Jordan canonical form. Again, let's do this problem. So, again, these are same problem asked in a different years. 2017 June, 2017 December. Let's I'll phrase the question. So V vector space of polynomials of degree at most 3 and T is the derivative map. Okay. And which are, so derivative is a linear map, one can check. So it is given that T is invertible, 0 is an eigenvalue. There is a basis with respect to which matrix T is nilpotent. Nilpotent means its power should be 0. There is a basis in which this is diagonal. Basically, it means that the matrix is diagonalizable. Okay, so there is a basis with respect to this matrix is diagonal means that this basis has to be the eigen basis. Okay, or you can say that this matrix is similar to a diagonal matrix. That similar, that is a way of saying it is diagonalizable. So again, if you look at the 2017 December question, same operator, only the name D is given in terms of T, and so it is saying that if A is the matrix of this derivative transformation, it says that A is nilpotent, A is diagonalizable, rank of A is 2, the Jordan canonical form of the A is this matrix. Okay, let's see how to approach this problem. The vector space polynomials of degree at most 3. Vector space of polynomials of degree at most 3 has basis 1x x square x cube. This is the standard basis. So we calculate the matrix of this derivative linear transformation with respect to this basis. Okay. So t of 1 is 0, derivative of the constant is 0, t of x is, derivative of x is 1, derivative of x square is 2x, derivative of x cube is 3x square. Okay. So first column is the image of the first basis vector. This is 0, therefore everything is 0. Second column is the image of the second basis vector x. So this is 1. Okay, therefore you get only 1 here. Similarly, for x square you will get 2x. So this is corresponds to constant, like this corresponds to 1, this corresponds to x, this corresponds to x square, this row corresponds to x cube. Just remember it like this. So 2x means only there is x. There is no constant term, other things. So t of x cube is 3x square. So there is a term here. Okay. So this is the matrix corresponds to the given linear transformation in the for this linear transformation. Now we call so now you can see that all the eigenvalues of this matrix is 0 0 0 0. Now we calculate the geometric multiplicity. So geometric multiplicity, like we saw yesterday, some formula 4 minus rank of a minus lambda I. Lambda is 0, so it is a minus 0 I. This is equal to 4 minus rank a. But rank of this matrix is clearly 3 because these three rows are linearly independent. Because this, I mean, there is a 3 by 3 minor whose determinant is non-zero, therefore rank is 3. So geometric multiplicity is 1. So geometric multiplicity of 0 is 1 means there will be only one block. Okay, so therefore this has to be the Jordan canonical form of this matrix. Clearly, since algebraic multiplicity is 4, geometric multiplicity is 1. Therefore, the matrix is not diagonalizable. So, diagonalize, A is a diagonalizable matrix is false. And like equivalently, there is a basis with respect to which it is diagonal also false. Now, 0 is an eigenvalue is correct. T is invertible is wrong because we saw that 0 is an eigenvalue. And you see this matrix is, if you calculate it is characteristic polynomial is x power 4, therefore a power 4 will be 0. Therefore this matrix is nilpotent, therefore a is a nilpotent matrix. There is a basis with respect to which the matrix T is nilpotent, true, because with respect to this basis the matrix is nilpotent. The only one option remaining, the rank of A is 2, but you notice that the rank of this matrix is 3. We just calculated there are 3 linearly independent rows. Okay, therefore this option is also false. Okay. Okay, so if you have some idea about Jordan canonical form, we can solve problem about diagonalizable matrices as well as Jordan canonical form. Okay, so in the next video we will see the connection between minimal polynomial and Jordan canonical form and generalized eigenvectors. So using that we can solve problems related to minimal polynomials and uh, Jordan canonical. For example, you might have seen many problems like this, like characteristic polynomial is this polynomial, minimal polynomial is this polynomial, then Jordan canonical form A can be, there will be 4 options. So these kind of problems asked in many times in the CSR exam. So all this problem can be solved using this is another problem. Let A be a real matrix. Its characteristic polynomial is given. Then about the Jordan blocks, they ask some questions. So all these things can be solved using our next video. Uh, Now you have learned little bit about Jordan canonical form. You go back and try to solve all the problems regarding Jordan canonical forms and diagonalizable matrices. Okay. So if you like this video, please click the like button and share with your friends and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.